Well, hey folks, it's your old pal King Waspinator. Welcome back to Total Party Skills. So the new project I'm going to be dicking around with just for fun and maybe some YouTube content is I'm going to make the World of Darkness San Andreas setting, from the classic GTA series using these three here source books. We got City of Angels, which describes Los Angeles for Demon the Fallen, San Francisco by Night, which is for both Vampire the Masquerade and Kindred of the East. Mostly going with the Kindred of the East focus on this one, though. And Fallen Tower, Las Vegas for Mage, the Ascension. They're all a little off-center of each other in terms of like where they fell in the classic World of Darkness timeline, and also obviously like 20 to 20 plus years have passed since the events depicted in these books if I were wanting to create a cohesive setting set right now. So that right there is the majority of the project. In brief, Los Angeles, obvious hotspot for, demons because of Hollywood and all the money and corruption and sin that goes on there. This depicts Los Angeles after like a major fictional earthquake hitting it in 2003 and a massive riots in which Lucifer himself appeared at. And now there's a bunch of squabbling between different major earthbound who want to find Lucifer and the various, other tamer, shall we say, demon factions who are just trying to manipulate global media and all that kind of stuff. San Francisco is a war zone between vampires of the West and vampires of the East, with things generally looking good for the vampires of the East. So I mean, like 20 years later, like kind of like how you're gonna have to like resolve a lot of the internal plot lines here, and kind of figure out like how things ultimately fall. I'm playing around with some of the ideas of like I kind of want to still acknowledge that the Gehenna and the apocalypse happened in the setting. It's just that the world kept going in a way that apathy that changeling and mage often complain about in humankind allowed the universe to keep going, even despite the fact that the triad of universal spirits all kind of kill each other in a mutual daisy chain suicide of destruction and all that kind of stuff. And ancient vampires raised from the dead to feed on all their childers. So I'm kind of the opinion that most of the kindred are probably gone, and so this gives like the new world order kind of shit. Vegas, I feel, can actually kind of largely be left intact. The way Mage was already set up in Mage Revised, where all the old chantries across the far horizon and Doisatep and all those kinds of places are cut off from them, and so it's mostly like the younger mages who are all kind of trapped on Earth and trying to figure out like how they want to move forward, and the Ascension War largely being considered to be over and kind of a mild ceasefire with the technocracy. All that's actually fairly fine and kind of be fairly much kept as is. Vegas only has a couple of chantries, and like there's the Syndicate has an influence there obviously, and there's like some iteration-esque stuff going on out at Area 51, but I don't know, it's going to take a little time to obviously go through all these and get all the interconnecting points of the web work to kind of create a greater integrated picture, and then facelift it all to match where it would be by this point in the World of Darkness timeline, given a couple of assumptions that I'm building into it. So we'll see. Anyway, so there we go. World of Darkness, San Andreas. All these books you can nab on print or PDF on Drive Through RPG as I did. So, feel free to play along at home and stay waspinated.